Good morning, everyone. It is almost 9 o'clock, and I know we're a little early by an hour, but I hope everybody got the message that I had to start at 9 because I was very fortunate to get, when you put your name on a cancellation list for a doctor's appointment and you think they're never going to call you. Guess what? They called me and they said I could come in, which was great because I had to wait 7 months for this appointment. So I am very excited that I have an appointment in a couple of hours. So that's why we're an hour earlier. So anyway, if you don't get to see me live, then you can pop onto the replays if you like. So it's almost 9 o'clock. I'm very excited about the cards that we're doing today. I copied both of them. I tweaked both of them, but I copied both of them. But anyway, let's wait till that clock ticks right over to 9 a.m. and we will officially start. I think I'll have a little swig of my, it is 9 a.m. Okay. All right. Well, I was going to have a little sip of coffee, but that's all right. I'll wait. All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome. And again, I apologize for having to up this to back it up to 9 o'clock this morning. But, when you get those canceled appointments and you think they're never going to happen and they do, you jump at the chance. So anyway, let's get started. All right. Let me just bring this over here so you can see the cards that we're going to make. These are the cards that I posted. Good morning, Nancy. Thank you very much, Nancy. So these are the cards that I posted. Actually, I probably should put the Christmas one under something dark so you could see the contrast. But anyway, here we go. I'm going to show you how to make both of them right now. So I think what we'll do is we'll start with the Christmas one. So let me get this out of the way. But this one, this Christmas card was one that our CEO, Sarah Douglas from Stampin' Up, showed us this week how easy and simple and fun this was to make. So let me show you. What we first going to do is take our base paper, which is going to be obviously basic white, and I've already cut it, scored it, folded it, blah, blah, blah. I already went and did the inside of that, but I'll show you that in a minute. But then I took the Traditions of Christmas designer paper. Hey, Cindy, good morning. Good morning, Jan. Thank you for popping in so early with me this morning. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. So anyway, I took the Traditions of Christmas designer paper, a piece of this. This is what she did. This piece is 4x3. This paper absolutely is gorgeous too. Let me tell you how beautiful it is. Both sides. One side is blessed with gold and real red and old olive and mossy meadow. The colors are just beautiful. And a little bit of, this is a beautiful, I think this is bubble bath that they used. But anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to just take this and we're going to put it on here. Let me pull this down so you can see it a little bit better. We're going to put it in the middle of the card. Now I'm going to show you a little trick. Sometimes when I do cards that I have to center paper that I know that I'm not going to bring it either, right to the edge like that, where I can pretty much eyeball where I want it to place. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll make a little template like this. So this is just a piece of cardstock, basic cardstock that is 5 1/4 by 4, which is the front part of the card. And then I cut out the 4x3 spot for the designer paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my adhesive. Let me get my silicone pad in here. And I'm going to put this on like this. Okay. And then I'm going to come in, let me move this out of the way. Bring this in like this. And the thing is, I have to get it perfectly exact so that I know it's going to be perfectly exact on here. So I'm going to put it in like this. And I did leave a little bit of wiggle room, top and bottom. All right, so there's that. Now I'm just going to move it over like this. I'm going to take this off and voila, look, whoop, there we go. It's perfect. All right. Now, I know there is a little bit of a header up here. That's okay. I don't care about that. All right. So that goes on like this. Then the next piece is a coordinating piece. This is in the same set with the Traditions of Christmas designer paper. So let me get some adhesive on this. And this strip is just going to go right down the middle. You talk about easy. You could make so many of these so quickly. All right. So let's put this on like this. And there you go. You could do this while you're watching the Red Sox or the Patriots or a soccer game or Downton Abbey or whatever you like. Okay, so there's that. And then what I did was I took some of this new red ribbon. This is so pretty. It's got a little bit of shimmer to it. Can you see it? Can you see that? It's so pretty. Look at that. It's got a little bit of glisten to it, which I really like. And I did go ahead and put some tear tape on the back. So I'm just going to take this off. Sometimes it's a little tricky to get the tear tape off ribbon. So let me see if I can use my pick your tool to get this off. Just like I do with the dimensional. There we go. Whoops. There we go. Well, maybe not. Let's try. There we go. I got it. Okay. So pull this off. And then I'm going to put this right down the center of this. Let me get this out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. And here is this. And I did bevel cut both of the ends because that's what Sarah did. Okay, so this is going to go on just like this. Now I've got a little tiny bit of overlap here, so I'm going to take my ribbon scissors and I'm just going to cut there, that. And then for my message, I took, I used the Jolly Holly stamp set, which I really, really love. This, whoops, sorry, upside down. The stamp set, Jolly Holly stamp set. And I took a couple of messages. I took bright and happy Christmas wishes. I took may the spirit of the season bring you hope, joy, happiness, and love. No, joy. Yes, I want you to have joy as well. But it says, may the spirit of the season bring you hope, happiness, and love. And then I took the holly berries and the leaves, and I'll show you what I did with that. So that's that. Here is the little message. I took it, I put it on a piece. Why do I do this? Basic white, stamped it, and now I'm going to add some dimensionals to this. Talk about easy, fast, and a fantastic use of your scraps of DSP. So you could use this template for any cards that you want. You could make birthday cards, you could make sympathy cards, whatever. All right, so this is going to go on just like this. How about that? Ooh, this ribbon looks a little bit crooked. Did you see that little bit of crookedness right here? I don't know if we can fix that. Let me see if I can fix that. Very carefully, very, very carefully. I want to get this little twist out. Let's see now if I can bring this in to make that a little bit better, because that would bother me just a little bit. I think this is better. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so there's that. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these gems. These are the 2022-24 in color pearls that we had. But look at how pretty this green is. Look at that green. That matches just perfectly. So I'm just going to take one of these and, come on, I know that you've been, what? Well, we'll just take this one that decided that it wanted to come and sit on my finger. So there we go. Perfect. Okay, so there's that. Now, this front is all done. The inside, why did I do that? Good morning, Steph. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Look at this. Okay, so the inside, this is still crooked. You know what? Why did that happen like that? Well, I'll fix that later on. I'll just move that over. Oh, wait a minute. If I can pull it over a little bit myself. Okay, that's not bothering me all that much. I'll see if I can fix it later. But anyway, this is what the outside looks like. And then the inside, may the spirit of the season bring you hope, happiness, and love. Then what I did was I took a piece of strip of the paper, this designer paper, and just put a little bit of a banner down on the bottom just to give it a little bit of interest. But isn't that an easy, fast, and fun card? Now the envelope, because you know how I feel about envelopes, they have to be decorated, they can't be nude. Well, I only had a certain amount of this designer paper left. So what I did was I took this piece, I put it on the bottom of the flap, and then up here on top, I stamped the ivy with the berries and colored the berries in with real red. Old Olive was the color that I used to stamp the leaves, and then of course I added red berries. So there's no naked envelopes. You know how I feel about naked envelopes. But anyway, that's the first card. Wasn't that easy? Talk about easy. All right, now the next one. This one is a card that demonstrated, oh, by the way, did I tell you that Sarah Douglas, good morning, Deb. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for joining us from Blackstone this morning. Thank you. Yes, Sarah Douglas is the CEO of Stampin' Up, and she's the one who showed us how to make that easy Christmas card. Now, this card is made by demonstrator Kim McGillis, and I think she's from Australia. I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, when I saw this, I said, I have to make this because I absolutely love it. I love what she did. So let me show you. I did do a slight variation All right, so of course, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of pecan pie cardstock, you know, the routine, the size, blah, blah, blah. There we go. And then I'm going to take a piece of Timid Tiger, which is one of the new in colors, which is absolutely a pretty, isn't that a luscious, that's just such a, I would love to have a dress or a shirt or something made out of this. Anyway, I noticed a little bit of fuzzies right here on the side. So with my fingernail, I'm just going to smooth those out. That indicates to me that the blades on my little trimmer need to be, the mat needs to be switched out. So I have to get a new one for that. Anyway, all right, that's this. And then, excuse me, I took a piece of this Autumn Toile designer paper. This paper is just so beautiful. It's just lovely. The scenery is gorgeous. Look at that deer there, that stag right there, and there's a baby one right down here. But look at how beautiful it is. This is just so pretty. I am truly amazed at what artists can do. So anyway, this is 5 by 3 3/4. I'm going to add some adhesive to this. And then I'm going to plant it on this Timid Tiger to give it a nice little background. Like this. Here we go, like that. It just adds a nice little bit of contrast. And then this is going to go on the base of the card, on that pecan pie. Doesn't a slice of pecan pie sound really yummy right now? Pecan pie with some real whipped cream. Is that okay to eat for breakfast? Why not? All right. Now I'm going to put this on east, west, and north, south. Perfect, like that. There we go. Now you can see the little fuzzies there. I don't know if you can see them very, there they are. That bothers me. So I'm just going to take my finger. And if you take your fingernail and just run it a few times, you can smooth that right out. Look at that. See, it's smoothed right out. It's the little things in life, people, that can drive me crazy. Anyway, okay, now let's get to the fun part. As you can see on the sample, there is this beautiful maple tree with the leaves. Look at all the different colors that I use. Now, what Kim did with hers, she used 2 colors. She used, I think it was Timid Tiger and Crushed Curry, but I decided to add some Old Olive and Cherry Cobble because on this card, all the leaves haven't yet turned and they haven't started to fall down to the ground. So, in order to do that, you need to use the Autumn Trees stamp set, and you need to use the dies. Now, the dies are pretty amazing. Here is the die for the tree. So this is the shape of the tree, and this is the intricate detail on the inside of the tree. So let me show you what that looks like. All right, so here it is. This is what it looks like when you stamp it out. See, and it's got these pieces that aren't, wait a minute, there's one that I have to poke out a little piece here. Come on, out you go. You're not, there you go. But see, it gives you a lot of contrast. I like the way that the artisans designed that. You can see the striations in the trunk, and you can see patterns where the leaves would follow. So then the other thing that she did was she took this other die. I'm going to bring it over here. This die right here. And this is the leaves. And so she took this, she cut it out, and then she cut this up into 2 different sections. She cut one out of the Timid Tiger and one out of Crushed Curry, I think it was. And then with her, she just decided to place them at will on top of the tree. So I decided to do the same thing, but I want to show you a little trick. When you have a die that has a lot of intricate detail, and you know that you've got a lot of that the die has a lot of cutting to do, one helpful thing I find is that I put a piece of wax paper against the die, and then I put it on my cardstock, and I run it through. And I run it through probably 4 times. So I run it through once, and then I roll it backwards and again. Then I take it out, and I turn it around and run it again forward and then backward. And then when you take it off, what's going to happen is, how nice is that? So here's the die. And most of the time, the wax paper will come right off. Sometimes you have to use your pick-me-up tool to take it off, but that's how that comes. But the best part is when you take this out, you can pop this thing right out, and you probably don't have any picking to do. See how easy this is coming out? I'm being very gentle because I don't want to break any of the leaves. But here you go. So here are the leaves already cut out for you. Now there are a few little spots here where you have to poke the the little holes through, but most of it pops out very, very easily, and you're ready to go. So let me show you how I'm going to assemble this. Let me get this out of the way, get this out of the way. So that's just a little trick I learned a long time ago. I don't even know who I learned it from, but that's where, that's what I did. All right, so I'm going to bring in my sections. Now, the other thing that I did was I took them and put them on my workspace, and I took a dauber and I used the same color, like Timid Tiger, to give these leaves just a little bit of extra dimension. If you can see that, this is a darker green right here, and the lighter old olive, blah, blah, blah. And here's crushed curry. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant these onto my tree. But before I do that, I'm going to bring it in and get my tree on the base of my cardstock, on the base of the designer paper. So I'm just going to add a few little pieces here and there of adhesive. You could use Tombow wet glue if you want. You could use fine tip glue. You just need to have it secured to this, which is very easy to do, like this. All right, so here goes the tree. Isn't that pretty? I mean, look at that. Isn't that pretty? That in and of itself would be a lovely card to give. Wouldn't that be pretty? Like that with the message? But we're going to fancy it up a little bit. All right, so I'm going to take my Tombow, and I'm going to take, I think I'm going to take my cherry cobbler first, and I'm just going to cut off these leaves. There's no rhyme or reason to this. You just cut them off according to however you want. And then you're just going to add little daubs of your glue, hither and yon. It doesn't matter. I mean, well, of course it does matter because you certainly want it to adhere. But then you're just going to put it wherever you want. So I'm just going to put this down like this and just pat it down very carefully. And normally what I do, I don't have them here, they're on my table. I would have a baby wipe right next to me, because the baby wipe, if I get any glue on my fingers as I'm pressing these down, I can just touch the baby wipe and get it off. But right now, we'll just do this. All right, I'm going to take some green and some of these green leaves. I mean, the detail on this die is amazing. I am, like I say, I know it's redundant. You're probably so sick of me saying it, but I truly appreciate the artistry that artists have, their ability to make beautiful things for us. All right, so now I'm going to take some Timid Tiger. Oh, this one needs to have a little bit of poking done here. Let's see. Actually, let me take this one. Yeah, let's take this. All right, and I'm going to, whoops. And, you know, when you cut these out, like I cut 4 different colors out, the Old Olive, Cherry Cobbler, Crushed Curry, and Timid Tiger, you probably could get 3 cards with with these 4 panels that we've cut out. Okay, so there's this one. And this I'm going to just put down here like this. I think I'll just bring it up like that. It's however you want it. There's no rhyme or reason to this. But this is what we're coming to, folks. We're going to be seeing the tree. Well, they already are turning in some spots. All right, so now I'm going to add some crushed curry. And this one I'm going to trim a little bit because this is big. Let me just add this. I think I'll cut this off. All right. So does everybody have something fun planned this weekend? I hope you do. I am going to be busy in my little workshop. We're getting ready for 2 big fairs. My friend Jen and Steph, who are with us this morning. I mean, Steph is with us. Steph is probably peeking at her computer screen while she's at work, but don't tell anybody I said that. Okay, so there's that. Isn't that pretty? Look at how pretty that is. Now I think I'm going to add some green, just a few more greens, because we need more green here. This one, and I'll just add the little dabs of this. You have to be a little bit precise with this because you don't want to get glue where it shouldn't be. But you're all veteran stampers. We all know how to do this. All right, I think I'll do it like this. And you can see with the Wink of Stella that I put on, I just dabbed some Wink of Stella on randomly. I didn't cover them all because I didn't want to cover them all. But look at that. How is that? I think that's pretty fine. I think that looks great just like that. So let me take these out of the way. Move this over here. See, I have extras left over. Now we're going to put a message. So what I did was I did use the word thanks from the Amber Autumn set. And this is how it came out. And also I cut it out with one of the dies from the Countryside Corners. You don't have to, you could just cut it out with, you know, scissors, make your own little rectangle, whatever. All right, I need some dimensionals here, and I think what I'll do is I'll just use this because I like to use the edges. All right, so here's this, and here's another one, and this one, and then I'll do this one. Oh, this one got stuck to me. I see I do have a little bit of glue on my fingers. All right, so I'll take this off, and then I'm going to put this on like right about here. Right here, like that, and then I'm going to take, I love these streaked pearls, they're called streaked dots, so I'm going to take a streaked dot, say that 5 times real fast. All right, I'm going to take one of these, and I'm going to add this to the banner. There it it did it again, my finger. Okay, there we go, that. And then the inside, I already stamped Grateful for You, and then I also stamped this little scenery with some, you know, some wheat. I tend to think it would be wheatgrass on top of a rock. So let me get some adhesive on this and put this on the inside. And then we're almost done. But isn't this a pretty card? This is definitely for somebody who's card worthy. We all know who those people are. You have to be card worthy to get a very pretty card that we all create, because it's just important that people love what we do, or at least like it. All right, now the next thing I shall do is I'm going to take a glue dot, and I'm going to put my glue dot right here, and I'll take that little piece of paper off. And as I often do, I just take my tip of my take your pick tool and put that glue dot. If this is a big one, this is a big one. I'm running out of small ones. So I'm just going to put it on top of itself to make a puddle of a glue dot. And then I've already taken Early Espresso and Old Olive Twine and made a bow. And I think I'm going to just make this a little bit smaller. So I'm going to pull this down just a little bit. There we go. And tighten that up. And then let me pull this side down just a smidgen. There we go. That's better. All right. And I'm going to put it on. I'm going to press it firmly like this. And I'm going to take my ribbon. So what? Let's see. So let me show you what I'm doing. Wouldn't that be nice if I get it so you can see what's going on? And I'm just going to trim these out a little bit like this. And then one last thing I have to do here is I have to take my Wink of Stella. I should have done this before I put the tree on, but that's okay. I'm not going to color the whole thing. I'm just going to color parts of it like this, like that, just to give it a little bit of shine because I can, because we have Winky. There we go, like that. And there we go. Here is the card, and the envelope is, I decorated the envelope with another tree and the same rock formation. So I think this is real. Why did I do that? There we go. That looks better. So here is this card. Isn't that pretty? I just love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's really beautiful. I think this Christmas card is really beautiful. I think it's going to be fun to make these next week, Monday and Tuesday. So if you're coming, oh, thank you, Nancy. I will definitely... there we go. I will definitely put you down for 4 of these for next Tuesday. And if anybody else is coming, please let me know. If you want long distance packages, I can do everything except your stamping for you. All right, my friends. So that is it for this week. I really appreciate you popping on earlier than normal. I am going to get in the car and go for my cardiology appointment. But I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you have a great week. And I will see you next Friday when we will continue to do Christmas and Thanksgiving in September. Oh my gosh. All right, friends, have a thank you again. I love you all for supporting me.